to be here to present the award for Best Director.
And here are the all-male nominees.
Despite being one of the largest minorities in the U.S., there is an overwhelming lack of Latinas directing feature films in the United States, showing that Hollywood as an institution is primarily controlled by white males, resulting in this underrepresentation. This video essay analyzes U.S. Latina films representing issues of their communities by female U.S. Latina directors to show that despite the Latino community representing a growing share of moviegoers, Hollywood as an institution is primarily directed by males, leading to the underrepresentation of U.S. Latina directors in the feature film industry. According to a new study by the Motion Picture Association of America, Latinos, who make up 18% of the population as of 2017, are steadily increasing movie attendance, while white filmgoers have decreased dramatically. Despite of this significant weight, diversity is not reflected in casting and directing. According to a study of the top movies of 2017 conducted by the USC Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, out of the 1,223 directors in 2017, only 8 were females from an underrepresented racial group, equating to 4% of female directors working in 2017. In observing the makeup of this 4%, only one female director was Latina among the females directing top-grossing full-length features in 2017. Worse yet, some Latina directors are also subject to the one-and-done phenomenon. While some directors get the opportunity to produce their first film, studios are often reluctant to give Latina directors another chance and instead rely on a stable of white male directors. This means that if a Latina director does not direct a top-grossing film to start, her chances of being rehired are slim.
The powerful media brand and magazine Remezcla is a platform that recognizes the barriers preventing Latino directors from the same success as white male directors by highlighting new Latino music, culture, and events. It is considered the most influential media brand for Latino millennials with national audiences in the United States, Latin America, and Spain. Remezcla published this article titled From El Barrio to Losaida, 10 Essential Movies About Latino New York, written by Matt Barbeau, which illustrates the top films that are essential to the Latino New York experience and story. However, of the 10 films listed, only one of them is directed by a woman. That is Entre Nos, directed by Colombian-American director and actress Paula Mendoza. Similarly, of the 10 films, only 2 of them portray females as the main character. The 2 films are Entre Nos and I Like It Like That by Darnell Martin. Both films are centered around the role and life of a single mother after they are separated from their husbands. However, I Like It Like That is directed by a male, which oftentimes leads to misrepresentation and stereotypical portrayal of female characters through a male lens. Mendoza's film, Entre Nos, erodes stereotypes of Latinas and is instead representative of the real struggles Latinas face, something which may not have been achieved accurately if it was not female-directed. However, Entre Nos, like many other U.S. Latino-directed films, is not a full-length feature film, meaning that films such as these circulate a variety of film festivals and are important among academics, but never make the same profit as top-grossing full-length features. It is because of this that U.S. Latino directors often do not have the money to make more than one film, leading to the one-and-done phenomenon.
The predominant stories that are on the mainstream have to deal with, the stories are of white males. Time and time and time again, and I felt that stories of complex people of color and just stories that are outside of that realm were not being told in a truthful manner. So instead of complaining about it, I decided that I was going to do something about it, and I started writing, and I started directing theater. And then that led to writing and directing film. From all of my previous films, I've realized that Americans really love happy endings. And for the first time in all of my films, this actually had a story, an end that was happy, not everything Disney is okay happy, but a glimmer of hope of where this family was able to come out, the darkness that they were able to come out of. So when we were writing the film, those were the issues that we were grappling with, like what is it that we compromise, if we compromise anything, in order to get the film sold? You know, that's a question that as a filmmaker you're constantly going back and forth about.
Another example of the few Latina directors who have defied the lack of Latina representation and the one-and-done phenomenon is Frances Negron Montaner, who directed the 1994 film Brincando el Charco. This film is one of the few examples of a story of a Latina lesbian character directed by a Latina lesbian herself, highlighting the importance of self-representation. Since most films today are directed by men, this film is significant as it is directed by a lesbian, non-Catholic Latina woman, breaking the traditional profile of directors. However, it is important to note that Brincando el Charco falls under the category of semi-autobiographical independent film, and films such as these do not make the same type of profit as full-length feature films, underscoring the significance of the gender and race disparity among U.S. directors in Hollywood.
Just as Brincando el Charco and Entre Nos highlight the importance of representation, Some Girls, a feature documentary directed by Raquel Cepeda, author of Bird of Paradise, How I Became Latina, explores self-representation and self-identity of young females in the Latina community. This film illustrates the challenging white supremacist narratives about American history and identity that young girls have been taught. Once what the girls have been taught is challenged, they are free to reconstruct their own identities about where they came from, but more importantly, who they are to themselves without society's influence.
Actually, after this today, I'm going to celebrate my book release with my girls at Life is Precious, and it's a suicide prevention program for Latino American teens. They're located in the Bronx and also in Brooklyn, but I'm working with the girls on a film in the Bronx, on a documentary about ancestral DNA. Latina teens have the highest suicide rate in America, and the epicenter of this problem, and I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around this, is New York City. Wow. So the only art therapy-driven solution to this is Life is Precious, and I'm going there to talk to them and to film them and actually to reveal one of the test results that I just got back last night. I'm very excited about this.
This documentary is available on the screening site Canopy and available to purchase on the film's website. However, this documentary was only streamed at 2 film festivals in New York in 2017. The New York Asian Film Festival and the Harlem International Film Festival, despite its motivational and powerful message on mental health and self-identity.
Ultimately, the underrepresentation of U.S. Latina directors in the feature film industry highlights the discrimination prevalent in Hollywood and the fact that U.S. Latina directors are often restricted to documentary filmmaking, a genre that is underpaid and underviewed.